December now, and back at school. The kids are preparing for their EOC next week, so this week is pretty much asynchronous, which means that, you know, I've created basically a landing page, and I'll show you this landing page when I get to school, but it's basically a landing page where they have a bunch of different links that are going to help them to prepare, you know, like USA test prep, and Virtual SC actually has some sample essays, like TDAs. If you don't know what a TDA is, in high school, English 2 is tested with an EOC, and they have to write a text-dependent analysis, which is an essay, essentially, where they have to, you know, write a thesis-driven essay and support it using evidence from a text, whether it be like a poem or a short story or whatever it is, whatever text that they're given. And so, yeah, they've basically been working on that yesterday, and they'll be doing that the rest of this week. And then next week, they will be taking EOCs, which I know some of you are probably wondering, they're virtual, can they take the EOC at home? No, apparently they cannot. They have been sent a survey, and they can pick which day they would like to take the EOC. If they have transportation, they can take it like any day next week. And if they don't have transportation and they have to rely on the district's transportation, then they can take it, or they have to take it on Friday. So next week, what they will be doing is taking their EOC, and I believe I'm going to be administering it for sure on Friday. And my admin has told me that they may need more help throughout the week, so I'm probably going to be administering it more than one day, which is a bummer, because if you've ever administered an EOC, it makes for a long, just kind of exhausting day, but that's okay. Anyway, in other news, I feel like I have a lot going on, or a lot I haven't vlogged about. I have found out that I'm officially going back face-to-face. A lot of people are asking me how I feel about that. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't feel great about it. On a daily basis, when I don't think about COVID, I can kind of live a regular life, and I mean, I do. I live a pretty regular life. I don't really go anywhere, but for the most part, I can put it out of my head and not think about it too much. It doesn't cause me much anxiety. But when I really think about the idea of being in a classroom with, you know, 15 to 30 students eventually, I do get a little bit worried. You know, it's, for instance, this is so sad, but on Saturday, so today's Tuesday, so just a few days ago, we had a teacher, an elementary school teacher, who was a veteran of 28 years, pass away in our district, and I think her child also is a teacher in our district, and then she also has a child who goes to my school, and so it's just pretty devastating for the district. I can't imagine what her colleagues are going through and what her family is going through. I mean, obviously, especially her family. From what I've read and heard, she was just an amazing teacher. So it's devastating. It's so sad. And we were kind of waiting to see how the district was going to respond, if our administrators or anything were going to say anything, and they really haven't, which is kind of a bummer. They did send out an email just basically sending their sympathies to the family, but that's kind of it. And our numbers are skyrocketing. If you know anything about South Carolina, I think it's going to just take, I don't know what it's going to take, I don't know what it's going to take to go virtual, but I know that virtual is not sustainable. I know that it's not the best option for our kids. And I know that there are parents that are out there struggling. But the fact of the matter is we want to be in our classroom with our students, but not when it risks our own personal health and the health of our families. But I know that there are a lot of different opinions out there. That's just my opinion. I do believe that our job can be done virtually. I think that it is a lot harder on everyone, but I do think that it can be done. I mean, we've proven that it can be done. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. But anyway, I am going back face-to-face. I'm not going back until January 19th, and there was talk about bringing our kids back 4 days a week rather than the model that they're in right now, which is a hybrid model where they come back just 2 days a week, and then they do 2 days virtual, and then everybody's off on Friday except for the teachers, and we just work on Friday and plan and prep. But it sounds like this, they did a news story on this teacher who passed away, and from what the news story reported, it sounds like we're going to be remaining in the model that we're in, which is the hybrid model, which makes me a little bit more comfortable because I was really worried about going back into a classroom after I haven't taught, face-to-face since March, and having to be faced with COVID plus 30 students in my classroom. That was just a little bit scary. So this makes me a little bit more comfortable. And because I'm going back face to face, I also found out that I get my student intern from a university in the area. So she will be coming back to join me, and that's exciting because she's pretty wonderful. And it's kind of touch and go when you get interns. Sometimes you get an amazing one like Liz, and then sometimes there's a little bit more room to grow. So anyway, I'm excited about that, but I am about to get to school, and I will catch you guys up when I get there. Alright guys, so I thought that I would show you the EOC landing page that we made. We basically created a few different steps to help students prepare for the EOC. It just gives them some sample TDA prompts, sample essays, the rubric so that they know their expectations, and then some of the videos are going to help kind of walk them through stuff like the rubric, how to annotate a TDA prompt, how to organize different paragraphs like the intro, the body, the conclusion, and then they get some exemplars of those as well. And then we've actually given them, because the EOC, this specific EOC, actually is 2 parts, so they're going to be taking the written portion, and then they also need some multiple choice practice. So these right here are going to give them some practice taking a look at sample essays, and then the USA test prep is actually going to help them prepare for the multiple choice part. So yeah, that's pretty much what that looks like. And I actually want to talk a little bit about EOCs and how that process is going right now. Okay, so I have about 140 students, and there are probably, I couldn't even tell you how many students are taking the EOC in our district, but I'm willing to say 300 or 400 students, something like that. I could be totally off, but basically each of the schools has chosen a different method because we have to get these kids to sign up and come to the school, because like I said before, they can't take it from home. And one of the schools seems to kind of be on their game, and it looks like that teacher has all, or if not all, most of her kids signed up, and that's definitely not the case for me. However, I wasn't given a ton of information about sign up. I was told that they were going to be sending out surveys to the students' parents, and that parents would basically fill out that survey, and that based on that survey, that's how they would kind of schedule, you know, when the students would come, if they were coming Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that kind of thing. Apparently the surveys haven't worked out very well. Some people didn't receive the survey, you know, and I don't know if you guys know this, but if you don't, parents don't really check their email as often as they probably should. So there's a good chance that an unbelievable amount of students are not signed up for this EOC, and it is next week. So that's concerning. And the government basically left it up to the state to decide whether or not these EOCs were actually going to count for anything. They told us that we do have to give them, but I think they basically said, you know, it's up to you how much, well, not up to us, up to our administrators, even above them, up to the district, how much these EOCs were going to count for our students' overall grades. And usually they count 20%, and we were really crossing our fingers that they were not going to count at all, because they're just, it's not, it isn't data that's reasonable, you know. But anyway, they chose to make it count, and instead of 20%, it's counting 10%. So it's worrisome that a lot of students haven't signed up yet. Sorry, my friend literally just texted me because I was telling her about it, and she was like, oh my God, Laura. She said, what a nightmare. Yeah, so it's kind of a nightmare, because if these kids don't sign up and they don't show up, they're going to be given zeros, and with that zero counting 10% of their grade, I mean, some of these kids will fail because they didn't show up for their EOC. So that's a scary thought. I'm crossing my fingers that my admin gets it figured out and that we can get all of our students signed up. But anyway, that's kind of what it's looking like right now. I have spent my morning pretty much doing EOC stuff. Yeah. Just kind of chatting with the kids and grading some work. And I think what I'm gonna do now is, I guess, send out another email to parents, which even if I send that email, it doesn't matter if they're not checking their email. And it doesn't matter if they simply didn't get the survey from admin. So I don't really know what to do. I don't know if there's much that I can do. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit if I find out any more information. All right, guys, so I am heading back home. I am sorry if you can hear my car. It is pretty loud, especially when I'm driving. But anyway, so I'm heading back home. Today was a very long day. Not for any specific reason, it was just really long. We were all kind of chatting about our COVID numbers, and you know, a lot of the teachers seem to think that we're gonna be going virtual pretty soon. I don't know if I believe that necessarily, even though our school does have like the worst numbers in the district as far as like a high school go. I think actually we have the worst numbers in the entire district, like across the board. Our district officials created a dashboard so that we can actually keep up with and be informed about the COVID numbers. It isn't exactly accurate, and I can't really explain how we know that, but you know, I mean, we can't expect them to be perfectly accurate. So we actually think that the numbers are higher than they're being reported. So some people are saying like, oh, by the end of the week we'll be virtual, or by the end of next week, or that kind of thing. I personally it doesn't affect me either way if we end up virtual, except for the fact that I would get to work from home. I know that a lot of districts like across the country are letting teachers work from home. My district is not one of those. We have to go to school whether we are virtual or face-to-face. So yeah, we have no idea what will happen, but we'll have to see. We have like somewhere around 500 to 600 kids quarantined, which is just insane. Yeah, it's just insane. So, and I think that's across the district. That's not just my school. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of where we are right now. I am heading home. Today is Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, Travis and I, which I don't actually think I've ever mentioned my husband's name, but his name is Travis, and he is a runner. He's been a runner ever since he was like really young, so he really likes to run, but it's getting pretty cold out. It's like, actually don't know what it is today. It's 46 out. But when we wake up in the morning, it's like 30 degrees, and then it gets dark really early. So he and I have been making it a habit to go to the gym a couple of times a week. He works 2 jobs, so Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of the days when we can go to the gym together. And I walk. I used to run. I'll be honest with you, I was never like really a run. I mean, I guess I was a runner. I ran, but I really only ran for maybe 2 years of my life. I just haven't kept up with it, which is unfortunate, but honestly, life has gotten hard. Running definitely gets hard if you don't keep up with it. I mean, if you don't keep up with running after a day, it gets hard. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take the pups out, and then probably just kind of hang out and relax, think about what we might do for dinner, and wait for Trav to come home so that we can go to the gym. So I will catch up with you guys later. All right, guys, so I am home, and I'm just hopping on here to show you guys a little bit of our Christmas decor. We did not do very much this year. This is kind of it. Hello, Bee. So yeah, we decided to do something pretty small. Pretty small, because we are saving up for a house. So we're keeping our eye on the prize, and we have a pretty small place right now, so we didn't want to spend money to like buy a big tree or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I came home and I took the pups out. I took a shower. Travis ended up having to work a little bit later than usual, so he is not home yet, but he should be home soon. And I'm gonna probably start thinking about making dinner. I did an Instacart order, so that should be here soon. And I'm gonna make dinner and then probably spend some time editing this video. And then after that, I'm gonna just watch some Vlogmases, because tis the season, right? Tis the season for Vlogmas. And I don't know about you, but I love Vlogmas. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you'll give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps and supports my channel. And I hope that everybody's having a pretty good day, whatever day it is that you're watching this, and that you're doing okay, you know, that you're mentally healthy, physically healthy, and if that's not the case, then praying that you start to feel better soon. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you soon.